Hello everyone, how are we doing today? This is Toby with Birdsong Studios. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your presence on the channel, your attention, your time, your energy, and your openness to the messages that come through here. So how are we doing after the equinox and the new moon in Aries? This really pivotal time for us, energetically speaking. We are entering in the energetic new year for 2023 at this time, with the ushering in of Aries season, the spring equinox kicking it off, bringing in some bright, fresh energies. And now we have Pluto going into Aquarius beginning tomorrow. So how are y'all feeling? Can you feel the transformation that's happening in regards to the collective, in regards to the communities that you are a part of, or are being introduced to, or that are being introduced to you, being brought into your awareness, and your impact in those communities, and how that affects the collective, how that affects your own individual life, but beginning to see the farther reaching impact of that, as well as the things that are being revealed on a collective level, that are now the layers and masks are being shed, allowing them to be revealed so that this transformation can take place. So let's see what we need to know at this time. Well, I'm just going to leave it open. Allow Spirit to bring through the messages that we need to know at this time for around Pluto in Aquarius, occurring tomorrow, March 23rd, 2023. We're starting with the Wild Unknown Tarot by Kim Kranz. This felt very appropriate for Pluto in Aquarius. This is my, what I call my kind of harsh truth deck. I don't ask any questions of this deck that I'm not ready to hear the answers for, and we are at this point in time when it's time for us to, well, we're being given the option. When these truths come through, will we be willing to open our eyes and actually see them, to, I'm hearing, take a step back, not to step away from them, but to be able to see the bigger picture of them. So removing ourselves as individuals a bit in our opinions of these, and allowing ourselves to see the bigger truth in them and behind them. Oh, wow. Well, there you go. And we have Judgment. This is exactly what I was talking about. Thank you, Spirit. This is card number 20. And yeah, this is having that higher perspective. See how the dove is above the crows and the chaos that is below. So giving ourselves the opportunity to rise above the chaos. And those might be bats. Those are bats. They're not crows, they're bats. Of course, we know bats operate, they're nocturnal, and they operate through echolocation more than sight. So they use energy and sound to maneuver and to hunt and to return home more than they do sight. So I'm getting this sense of exactly what I was saying in the intro, that we've been in the dark, and we have not been in a place of being able to utilize all of our senses. And so now is the time. Pluto in Aquarius is giving us this opportunity to rise above it, to integrate all of the senses including our higher knowing, especially our intuition. And with this light coming from behind the dove, coming from a place of divine love. And I'm hearing forgiveness again. Forgiveness is a huge, huge theme right now. And it's imperative if it's one of the foundations of New Earth. And so we're being given this opportunity to see the chaos from a different perspective. And from that perspective, then, how are you going to judge it? What are you going to take from that? What wisdom comes from this higher perspective, and one that's based in divine unconditional love and the energy of peace, with the intention of peace and calm and serenity. Wow, that's a big one to start out with. Yeah. I'm telling you guys, this deck, this is the deck. You don't ask the question if you don't want the answer. Not that other decks don't come through with honesty, they do, but this deck has a way of delivering it a little bit more harshly than some of the others that I use. And sometimes that just cold, kind of emotionless truth is what's necessary, right? To be able to see the truth, we do have to remove ourselves from the illusion, and sometimes the illusion is created by our beliefs, our emotions around a particular subject. And here we have the Ace of Wands. So, yeah, this beautiful new beginning that is available to us. I feel like this is on the other side of judgment for us. When we clear away this illusion and confusion and see things from this higher perspective, acknowledging and allowing the wisdom and the teaching and the understanding that comes from that. And not just from a place of, here's the thing. This is not to dismiss any, I'm hearing any of the horrific things that have occurred that we have, as a collective, have done. But it's in acknowledging all of it. And maybe understanding, not maybe, but allowing ourselves the space, removing ourselves from what we believed to be, and allowing us to see the truth of things so that we really can birth this new beginning. This feels completely symbolic of New Earth. I mean, look at the growth on this wand here. And all that beautiful fire energy. And we are at the start of Aries season, the first of the fire signs in the astrological chart. Yeah, allowing for this new beginning, but this judgment must take place first. They do go hand in hand. And so it is required of us that we look at all of the chaos. We look at the ugliness. We look at the things that were done in the darkness, the things that were done when our eyes were shielded. Whether we were whether we were in that place by choice or not is really irrelevant. But giving ourselves the space, the time to look upon this so we can see it from what it is, and so we can allow it to be cleared then by this fire energy, have it to burn it away, leaving burning away that which we do not want, that which is not for our highest good as a collective and an individual, and allowing this new life to spring forth. And it's budding now. It's springtime. We are just past the equinox. That's beautiful, guys. Okay, let's see. We just have to be willing to look at it, acknowledge it, and then allow it to be released. And not stay in a place of, oh my gosh, all these terrible things happened, and oh, this is your fault, or this is their fault, or this is my fault, or this is our fault. Not a point of placing blame, but just acknowledgement and awareness. And what can we glean from this? What can we learn from this so that we do not repeat it, so that we can release it from this cycle and move forward into a new one, free and clean and brand new. And this applies on the collective, and that's the way I'm speaking, but this applies to you as an individual as well. So this is looking at this from a macro level and a micro level. How can you do this in your personal life, in your life as an individual? With the understanding, now it is important for us to see this as it's playing out in the collective, on the global scale, on the national scale, on a local scale, in our communities. But understanding that when we do this work on the micro level in our own individual lives, this is where the massive change comes. Because the more of us that are doing this work on the individual level, this is what allows it to come into being in the collective level. And this is, again, us seeing what has happened and then understanding what needs to happen and taking responsibility for that, instead of saying, oh, well, when the government changes, then things are going to be different. Oh, well, when the manager that I don't like in my job leaves, then things will be different. When my company changes their policies, then things will be different. That's not taking responsibility for our own experience. And as hard and as harsh as that sounds, but this, again, it's time for us to look at these things. It's time for us to stop hiding behind it's somebody else's fault. It's time for us to stop putting the responsibility of our experience on another person, an individual, a situation, an environment, a government, a country, a culture, or the collective. But with that comes the empowerment of understanding that when we do that, then we do impact the collective. This is what I was talking about in the beginning as well. Pluto in Aquarius is inviting us to look at how our individual lives have impact on humanity, the collective as a whole. This is our opportunity to now see this for what it is and to move forward with holding this wand high. This is what I'm moving towards. This is my intention. This is what I'm birthing. This is what I'm focusing on. I am aware of this. Yes, I am aware of this. But is my intention to not create any more of that by staying in that place? And then we have the Chariot, card number 7. I love the Chariot. And here's freedom that we've talked about in the horse and this movement forward. And it's not depicted on this card. Well, it kind of is, because we have the moon and then we have the sun and then we have the pentacle. This is a balanced energy, because the Chariot is connected to the sign of Cancer. So we have all 4 elements represented here, and this is a balanced movement forward. And that's what we gain from this judgment, this opening to judgment, this opening to vision. I'm hearing this removing of illusions. This is what Pluto in Aquarius is bringing at this time, is bringing us the opportunity to do. And this is freedom. Imagine or visualize how you feel when you see a horse running free. And I'm seeing a horse running across the plains, like in the Western United States, say, I don't know what, I'm getting Wyoming or Colorado, but a herd of wild horses running across the plains. And how does that feel? To me, it feels free. It feels uninhibited. It feels boundless. And so harnessing that energy and staying connected to the elements of the earth, being grounded in this pursuit. Balancing the dark and the light with the moon and the sun. And it's from this balanced state that we're able to move forward. Okay. Let's see, what else do we have here, please, for Pluto in Aquarius. The world. Wow. And this is that, again, this balanced energy, this completion of the cycle. This is card number 21. This is the last card in the major arcana for traditional tarot. So after judgment comes the world. The completion of the cycle, which allows us to move into this new cycle that we have represented here with the Ace of Wands. Here's the movement. I almost feel like this needs to go like this. I don't even have any words for the world. I feel like it speaks for itself. I know I'm here to interpret these messages for you guys, but it's just I hope that you are sensing and can feel the power of this moment, the power of this time, because our judgment is so important. How we judge this, how we view this, is going to determine our path forward. It has a huge impact. Sorry, I have some soot from the sage. It's going to impact how we move forward. I feel that our judgment is going to determine how we wrap up this cycle, but it's also going to determine what cycle we step into next. And this is, again, on an individual and collective level. Represented here by the circle. This cycle. And I'm getting the imagery of spirals, a spiral, a three-dimensional spiral, where we do continue similar patterns as we go up. We see similar circumstances and experiences However, our view of them is different, so our actual experience of them is different. So which level are we going to aim for? Are we going to aim for a level that's it mirrors where we are now? Or are we going to aim for a higher level? Are we going to maintain this higher perspective and allow ourselves to move to that higher level so that, yes, we might see things that are similar to what we've seen before, but we recognize them because we've seen them before. We know what to do to not engage in a similar way in the past so that the outcome is what we experienced in the past. And if enough of us do that, we make a huge leap forward. I even feel like we make a huge leap forward so that we're not even in the same wheel. We're in a totally different wheel. We close the book on this cycle and allow ourselves to move into a totally new cycle. And this is New Earth. Let's see what else we have here, guys. Again, I'm kind of at a loss for words because the energy of it is so powerful. I don't know that I can do it justice with the way I'm describing it to you. And what I want to make clear more than anything is how empowered we are each as individuals to make this choice. Because if we approach this judgment and this option of cycles that we have presented before us with Pluto and Aquarius, if we approach this from a place of victimization, we will be moving right back into the same cycle. Because if we feel that the cycle is controlling us, then it will be. Then that's what we're manifesting. If we choose to believe in ourselves, in our own power, in our own sovereignty to create our reality, if we choose to believe that this brand new cycle, that New Earth is a possibility, that it actually is that it's already in existence, it's waiting for us to open the door to it, then that's what we'll experience. And then we have the 10 of Cups. And that's where fulfillment comes from. It's waiting for us. It's not even that we have to create it. It is absolutely present. It is a doorway that we must enter into. And this is the portal where we choose. I really believe this is such an important time. From now, there's another new moon in Aries. So the new moon yesterday in Aries was at 0 degrees Aries. That is the very, very, very beginning of the astrological calendar. 29 degrees is the end of Aries. And that's where the new moon is going to fall in April, at 29 degrees of Aries. I don't know the statistics on it, but I do know that it's very rare to have, maybe I shouldn't say very rare, but it is not common to have 2 new moons in the same sign in a year. This is our portal, this is our window, and I believe that happens on April 20th, and that is the beginning of the eclipse season as well, which ushers in the changing of the nodes of fate for this time period. So we're moving from Taurus and Scorpio to Aries and Libra. Fire and balance. A new beginning in balance, which is what we've talked about here. So are we going to choose the 10 of Cups? Are we going to choose emotional fulfillment? All the cups filled and watering each other? Because this is our option. It's available to us. Are we going to choose it? Or are we going to choose to redo what we know because it's what we know? And because we don't believe that we are powerful enough as individuals to choose otherwise? Okay, I'm going to do 1 or 2 cards from the Life Soul Vision Oracle by Romy Wyser, and then we'll wrap it up. I think this has been pretty self-explanatory. I think that Spirit's made themselves clear here. Okay. What else do we need to know about Pluto and Aquarius, please? Oh my gosh. Didn't we just talk about spirals? Spirals of love and grief. And it's card number 52, which reduces down to 7. And this is a 7-year, 2023. Guys, I mean, it can't be any clearer. I hope you're picking up on this. I hope I've conveyed this well enough. Again, it's not to discount the grief that comes through with this process. It is not. But it's to honor that by choose the love that came from the grief. There's no grief without love. So are we going to choose to honor the love that is at the foundation of the grief that we felt? Or are we just going to focus on the loss? Because focusing on the loss, I feel like, does not honor the love that is at the basis of the pain that we feel. And again, with the spiral, are we going to choose, and look at all this fire energy here too. And we have the prism, the rainbow, mirroring this 10 of Cups, mirroring the wheel. So which level are we going to choose? Are we going to go back into the same cycle, or are we going to choose something different? Because the doorway, we are in the doorway. We're standing at the threshold. Are you going to walk through it, or are you going to turn away from it because you don't believe that, just because you can't see? I feel like for many of you in the collective, this is our judgment point, okay? You may not be able to see with your eyes, and this is the beauty of the bat here. You may not be able to see with your eyes what's on the other side of this doorway, what's on the other side of this threshold, this portal that we are in. But can you trust in yourselves? Can you trust in the divine? Because we're not here by chance. We are not at this threshold by chance. We're here to take a hold of this opportunity to create new earth, to step into it. And just because we have not seen how that can happen in this lifetime, in our current reality, in what is before us and what we see in the media and hear in media and hear about maybe from other people that are stoked by our worst fears. That's what's clouding us. So can we open our minds and allow ourselves to get to this higher perspective where we can see beyond the illusion and see this is possible. It's actually there. It's not even just possible. It's there. It's just waiting for us to grab hold of it, to move towards it. We can do this. I believe in you. Do you believe in yourself? I believe in you. Do you believe in yourself? Do you believe that you have the power to create your own reality and therefore impact the reality of the collective? You do. Oh my gosh. Spirit's on it, man. As always, thank you. Crown energy, activations of wisdom. Again, we are not at this point in time, and look at the purple. This is Aquarius energy coming through. This is divine, well, two facets. Okay, so purple is the color of amethyst, which is the Aquarian stone, which is linked to Aquarius. But greater than that, this is the divine coming through. It's lighting up the crown of this temple, just as the divine is offering this lighting up of our crown chakras at this time. This wisdom, it's being opened up for us to see it, to embrace it. Number 12, 3. Guys, this is, it's available to us. We just must choose to walk through that doorway. And again, you have the power to do that. You have the wisdom is available to you. Allow in these activations at this time. Connect into your higher self and to the divine in whatever way is most suitable for you. And you will feel its presence, and you will allow yourself to feel that knowing of the empowerment that is within you. Okay, I am going to leave it there. Thank you all again so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And I am sending out all my love and great waves of light to support you in this time. My information will be as always is in the description box below. If you would like a personal reading, please feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to help. I would be honored to help. So with that, I ask that you all recognize your power and the power that we each have as individuals to help move this collective forward into New Earth. It's here for us. Okay. All my love to you. Thank you again for being here. I will be back soon. Have a wonderful day.